Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well guys, today I wanted to do a quick video just to show y'all a little bit about our setup. If you are trying to get into pan fishing, maybe you want to take the kids out or the family out to do some fishing, and summertime is a great time to do that in order to get a little bit of action on the water and keep the kids interested. But a lot of people may not know how to tie up a simple brim setup, or what we call a brim or a perch setup under a cork if you're maybe fishing either crickets or earthworms, some kind of live bait. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you guys, if you are new to fishing, maybe you're getting into it, you see that it interests you and it's something that you want to take your family out there to do. I'm going to show you the easiest setup that you could do, and for some of you this is going to be very basic stuff and it may not interest you, but for those of you trying to learn a little bit, it may be something that could help you in order to get out there and be able to catch some fish with the family, or just for yourself, because it's something that you could do from a boat or it's something that you could do from the bank. So I'm going to show you my setup that we use. If you watch our videos here on the channel, you'll know that we did some brim fishing lately, and I'm going to show you the exact setup that I used for that, and that I set my wife up and my kids up when they come with me. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show y'all is just my basic setup of what I've been using, guys, and I'm going to bring it outside the boat. But what I've been using here is a 6-foot Lew's laser rod. This is a laser rod and it's a underspin setup. This particular reel is a Lew's Crappie Thunder, and it's just a trigger spin reel, but a lot of times you can use a push button, Zebco, or other setups like that. But one thing I want to mention about this setup is I like a 6-foot, somewhere in that 5'6" or 6-foot range, because a lot of times we're going to be, targeting those fish under tree limbs, especially down here in the south. If you're fishing down south, you probably have, cypress trees or oak trees, willow trees, and you're going to be trying to target these fish on the bank. So you want to make sure that you have a rod that is not too long to where you cannot make those casts accurately to try to be able to target those fish. So my setup that I've been using is this little 6-foot underspin from Lew's. So I would recommend a 5'6" or a 6-foot rod, something that's short enough to be able to make accurate casts without getting it hung up in those tree limbs and stuff like that when it comes to being able to cast. Okay, so another thing I want to mention, guys, is I use a 4-pound test line when I'm fishing these panfish. Anywhere from a 4-pound line to 6-pound line typically is what I'm going to use when I'm pan fishing either crappie or sockeye, or if I'm targeting brim, I'll go down to 4-pound test oftentimes. Now this system that I use is, like I said, it's one of the most simplest systems that you could possibly use to get out there with either some live crickets or some earthworms and catch perch. It's a 4-piece system, and I'm going to show you how I rig it up, guys. So I take my line, and what you're going to notice here is I have a bobber stop right here. This little black piece that you see, this is a line bobber stop is what it's called. You can pick this up at any of your tackle stores. And what I do is I slide that bobber stop up onto my line before I put my cork. And what this is going to do, I'm going to show you in a second. It's going to make it easy to adjust the depth that you fish those fish at. Now when you're targeting, perch and brim, panfish, a lot of times you're going to be fishing shallow, but sometimes as it heats up in the summertime, those fish will be maybe suspended on a ledge away from the banks into the deeper water or the middle of a channel, and you're going to want to be able to adjust your cork on the fly. And with this bobber stop being installed on this, it makes it easy to do, and I'll explain in a second. The second piece of my 4-piece setup is going to be my bobber or stopper. Now I like to use a small stopper when I'm doing panfish, like when I'm targeting brim. And what I do is underneath that bobber stop that I mentioned, I run my fishing line through the top of this one. Now this particular brand that I typically use is from Comal Tackle, and I've always find that those are really good. They hold up pretty well. This one's been beat to hell and back, but it's still in overall good shape. Now once I run my line through that stopper, it's going to come through. The next thing you're going to see in that 4-piece system is this right here, which is a lead bullet weight. I like to put my lead bullet weight just about a 1/2 inch above my hook That way when I cast it, it keeps the hook and this separated, having a little bit of weight right here, makes it a little bit easier to cast, I find. And I have a feeling, and in my mind, the feeling is that the brim or the fish, when they're biting down on this, they don't have that extra weight in the way because it's kind of moved off to the side. The last piece of my system that I got that you see here is going to be my brim hook. Now you can pick these up at any Walmart tackle store. This complete setup really is something that's very common, but I use a long shank hook, and that is the last piece of this 4-piece system that I use for my live bait setup, whether I'm fishing crickets or earthworms. At that point, guys, once you tie that hook on, you have your weight in place, you have your stopper in place. Then what you could do is, you'll notice here that wherever that bobber stop, that first piece that we laid down is at, that stopper can only go up to where that bobber stop is on your line. So in other words, right here in this situation, I have a pretty shallow setup. But if I want to go a little bit deeper, all I got to do is move that bobber stop up the line a little bit, and therefore my cork will be able to slide a little bit higher. My bait will be able to get down a little bit deeper, and I could go after some of those fish if they are in deeper water. All right, so in this situation right here, I just went ahead, slid my bobber stop up. My stopper in the water would slide up the line, up to that bobber stop. You see where it holds it in place really, really well. And therefore, I could shallow up or deepen up as deep as I want to go according to where I place my bobber stop. So guys, this setup, like I mentioned, you can get all of these components at any local tackle shop. It's something that's very, easy to set up and use for either you to be able to target shallow water brim, sac-a-lait, perch. The only difference that I do with sac-a-lait when it comes to fishing and targeting those is, instead of having that brim hook with the weight, I'll typically have a lead jig head and a plastic jig on that setup, and I'll still fish those sac-a-lait very similar to what I do for brim. But if you're looking to be able to catch panfish this summer, guys, this little easy setup is extremely easy. All you need is a bobber stop, the right setup when it comes to a rod and reel, something lightweight, Zebco, spin cast, underspin, or a spinning reel. Doesn't really matter on that. Light test line somewhere in the 4 to 6 range, and then your brim hook and your weight, and then your live bait, of course. Preferably, I like crickets, but sometimes if you're looking to do, maybe they don't want crickets quite as well, earthworms are a great option as well. All right, y'all, so that's it. That is about as simple as it gets when it comes to a basic brim fishing setup. If you're looking to get the kids out there on the water, have some action this summer. Maybe you're new to fishing, maybe you are looking to get out there and catch some fish for yourself, then this is a setup that you could go to your local tackle stores, like I mentioned, pick up for just a very reasonable price, and it's easy to set up, get you a little bit of live bait, and go out there and catch some fish this summer, guys. If you have any questions at all, maybe you're new and you're looking for a place to get information on how to get out there and catch some fish, or on setups, best setups for catching fish in a specific area, drop us a comment down below. We'd be happy to get back with you, answer any questions you guys have. And if you found this video useful, then give us a thumbs up. We would appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, maybe consider doing so. We would also greatly appreciate it, guys. Until next time, my name is Jacob, and this is Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors TV. Signing off. We'll see y'all again soon in the outdoors.